Hi, Frank Smith here. Today I'm at one of my favorite state parks. In this video, I'll share some tips, post-processing suggestions, and some of the equipment I use. I started the day by catching this fisherman surrounded by this beautiful mist. Today I'm back in a favorite park. This is the Beltsville State Park, and I'm on a new trail. This is the Sawmill Trail, and taking a look around, and it looks like we've got a lot of excess moisture, so I suspect we're going to have a fair amount of mushroom opportunities. The trail looks pretty lush just with all the greenery that's around here. Over my shoulder are some waterfalls, but these are man-made waterfalls. Apparently this is the area where the mill used to be. So there appear to be some sunbeams coming through some of the trees. I'm also going to try to see if we can capture some of those, and also some dense fog in different pockets. We're supposed to get up to about 90 degrees today, so it's a little warm, but I think it's creating some nice photographic opportunities. Since there's an opportunity for a fair amount of mushrooms, stick around to the end of this video. My plan is to share with you how I post-process and how I set up to photograph macro mushrooms. As I mentioned earlier, this is the site of a former mill, and it had some real challenges because I was shooting towards the sun and the dynamic range was pretty significant. In this particular image, I had to shoot a series of 5 bracketed shots in order to capture the full dynamic range. During my hike, we came across these beautiful hostas. I really liked the way the moisture just accentuated the leaf and the way it was positioned amongst the other ones. Let's talk about how I go about photographing macro mushrooms. And I guess the first part is to just have the appropriate equipment. And one of the things that's key for me is having a macro lens. And in this particular case, I'm using the M.Zuiko 60mm. Of course, the other important piece of equipment is your camera. And in my particular case, I'm using the Olympus OMD EM1 Mark III. Part of the reason this camera is important to me is I have the ability to bracket automatically for my focal distance. This feature isn't 100% necessary. You can also set this up manually with your camera. So when I'm in the field, I may take on average of anywhere between 50 and 30 images, and a lot of it has to depend on how close I am to the subject. When I get back to my computer, I'll select only the images that include the areas of focus that I want to concentrate on. And from here, I'll select those images in Lightroom and prepare them for export into Photoshop. I'll do this by selecting Open as Layers in Photoshop. After it opens, I'll select all of the images and then click on Auto Align Layers. I'll select the Auto option and let Photoshop do its magic. And then from here, I'll simply click on the Auto Blend Layers, and then a dialog box will come up where you just click Stack Images. At this point, Photoshop will just automatically blend these for their appropriate focal length. And what I typically do then is merge these layers or flatten them. I'll then crop the image and do some minor cleanup work to the image, and hopefully I'll have an image that I'll be in a position to share with my audience.